The Voice.
When you are not playing in the league of the big boys, the UEFA Champions League, you can only say that the UEFA, that is the UEFA, is a distraction. So says fans of Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, as would you rather be if not on a Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja, following the Sport Crew, because it is a Sport O'Clock. Welcome to Tuesday's edition on the show, Sport Lounge. Sport Lounge comes your ways every Mondays to Fridays at exactly 4 p.m. The sports team gather around to bless you sportically on your number one show that every other radio show listen to. It is a 3-minute gun past the hour of 4 p.m. on the 5th day in the month of March 2024. And I can tell you good news from the Gold Coast country in Ghana, as the tennis team of Nigeria have now qualified into the semi-finals. It is just few hours into the All-African Games, and already we are making our strides. My name is Franklin Imona, the one you love to call Uncle Fineboy, because I am the finest uncle talking sports in the capital city and beyond. Come on, Sport Bishop, hold your thoughts. Now you have the floor.
Okay, guys, it's gonna be pulsating, interactive, fun-filled, and sporty packed, because we're bringing you all the latest juicy details from the All Africa Games as we're counting down to the official, resumption of of festivities. But we know games have begun already. Like I told you in tennis, we hear the yellow greens, as we call them, that is our women cricket team, have arrived as well. I will bring you up to speed what happened yesterday night, both in England and in Italy, as we count down to the Champions League. Not forgetting what's happening in the world of tennis as well, the transfer markets as well. And the big story has to come from Nigeria and the coaching issues. What next for Nigeria after Pesero? We hear from the report we got late last night that the NFF are trying so hard to get Pesero back. We'll let you know about that, what it's all about. All these and more on the show, including Ten Hag saying that they can still get Champions League football.
Champions League football. I do not know if one man will agree with Eric Ten Hag. He goes by the name Mr. Johnson Marco G, but you know me as Mr. J for short. Good to have you always on the show, Mr. J.
How table turns. So Man U is now a team that qualifying for Champions League is now a trophy for them.
Oh my goodness.
Just how table turns. Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Get it top 4 and let the money spin. Alright, Abuja, you have heard the voices of the men that will be giving you one undiluted hour of a great footballer presentation and analysis. Let's go on this breather. When we return straight into the local scene, we will be taking you. Go nowhere. News from the local scene. And straight to the local scene we take you, but this time we will touch down in the Nigerian Premier Football League, as one man is full with confidence that look, we are going to get the job done. He goes by the name of the coach of Aimba, Coach Finidi George. Despite their losing, I won't call it losing streak, they only lost a game to Aqua United, but they are saying that we can still go all the way, top the league, and bring back the trophy. Sport Bishop, do you think that that's possible for Eimba Football Club?
It's still doable. We look at the log, you let you know that from first to seventh, they can still win the league. But for a team like Aqua United that has been stuttering and suffering, they haven't been playing the best of football. They even had to relocate from the Eke Township Stadium to the Gospel Abavi Stadium, now known as the Nest of Champions, to get their first win in a very long while. And Eimba has to be the team, a team who, if they had won, would have moved to the top of the table. It's quite shocking. I know we'll get to that, but hopefully we get to Finidi at some point, the coach of the team. He was, crying foul play, blue blood, that the ball boys didn't play their part, that they were, according to him, were the better winner, but he felt that the ball boys were holding on to the ball for far too long. At some point, he said they won't play this ball at some point. I think it's doable. I don't think it's past them. But let's be sincere. If you want to win the league, these are games you should be winning against the struggling teams. And you wouldn't want to be the team where everybody will say, "Oh, we let me use this word now, that we found a way to win because of the fact that we're playing a lesser team." Aqua United have not been playing well at the moment.
All right, so we've got the media officer of Eimba Football Club, Mr. David Oji. He joins us live on the show. Good afternoon and welcome to the show, Mr. David.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
It's been a not too good 24 hours for Eimba Football Club following their loss against Aqua United. What would you say concerning that defeat? Because reports also reaching out as it that coach of Finidi George was complaining rather that the ball boys were the reason he lost. How true is that?
Well, first, it was a very wonderful game. I was still yesterday at the Gospel Abuja International Stadium there in New York. It was a match day encounter between Aqua United and Eimba FC of Aba. Aqua United beat the People's Elephant by 3-1. But what the coach was actually complaining about was some of the shenanigans that actually happened, with game management here in Nigerian football.
Okay.
We've seen cases where the team is trying to manage the game, and once the team actually has advantage, all the ball boys tend to disappear. So that means if you are in Lagos and probably the ball goes out to Abeokuta or it goes out to Ibadan, you basically have to go and pick the ball yourself, when naturally that is the job of the ball boys. So that once the ball is out, they would actually throw in the ball. So that was exactly what Coach Finidi was complaining about. So this is 2024. He actually said with Aqua United, they are bigger than this. If you want to manage the game, find a better way of managing the game. You can keep possession, which is exactly what Eimba does once they want to manage a game. But the use of ball boys in 2024 by a team as big as Aqua United, it's absolutely nothing to write home about.
Now let's look at the game proper. 3-1 loss to a struggling Aqua United team. What went wrong for Eimba?
It was just a game where we failed to take our chances, and we just failed to convert. We created chances. Imo, both left back, actually hit or rattled the woodwork on 3 occasions from free kicks as well in very decent areas, and we just failed to convert our begging chances. One thing about football is you have to be clinical in front of goal. If you don't take your chances and the opposition actually takes the chances, that's the most important stat that matters. You can dominate possession, 50 corner kicks. In fact, the possession can even be 200%, though that doesn't exist. But the most important stat is the goal. So we failed to convert our chances, and though there were a little bit of let's just say Aqua United took their chances, but some of the chances we got or some of the chances we created, we failed to convert them.
All right, moving forward, that game between Aqua United and Eimba. Eimba this season have been able to muster 12 wins, 3 draws, and 8 defeats in 23 games. Eimba is a big club. We know that here in Nigeria, and of course in Abuja, we have lots of fans of Eimba. How do you see Eimba moving forward in going back to the top of the table and eventually winning the league? Do you see Eimba turning the table around and becoming champions at the end of the day?
Well, of course, this is what champions are actually made of. The league is very, very competitive at this point in time. And, there's this popular saying that when the going gets tough, the tough actually gets going. And
Very
you can't
true.
talk about some of the tough teams in Nigerian football without talking about the Imba. This season, we won the league last season, and definitely would want to give a good fight in retaining the league this season as well. I wouldn't really want to say, okay, yes, that we're going to win the league or we're going to retain the league. But one thing is sure, we definitely want to pick up a continental ticket at the end of the season.
Before we let you go, let's talk about the assistant coach. Talking about Olaruwaju Yemi. We hear he's set to begin a UEFA B coaching license. How huge is this for Ayimba, especially for a coach who was part of the team that won the NPFL last season?
Well, it's very big. You talk about capacity building in our coaches as well. And you find out that this is actually very huge. Coach Yemi, Olaruwaju Yemi Daniel is one person who wants, like, he has this hunger for knowledge, and it also helps the team generally because once you go for UEFA B, it gives you a new idea, a new approach. Better football methodology, which would also reflect on the team on the long run as well. So probably from the UEFA B, UEFA A, you never can tell, UEFA Pro license as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. David Orji. It was a pleasure talking to you.
All right, thank you very much. Do have yourself a very wonderful day, and big shout outs to all the Ingber fans here in Abuja.
Definitely, yeah, they are currently listening to you. Hopefully, when next we knock on your door, you will oblige us.
Yeah, definitely, anytime, any day.
Thank you
It's
very
Abuja.
much. All right, that was Mr. David Orji, the spokesperson, I dare say, for Aimba Football Club, as well as a coach of Finidi, George. Earlier on, he told us that the team are currently in an evening training section, so we were unable
Yeah.
to speak to the coach himself. Hopefully, next time, Coach of Finidi will be available for us to talk to.
Anyway, other games went down yesterday. With Doma United playing a goalless draw with Sporting Lagos at the Pantami Stadium, and of course, Kano Pillars lost at home shockingly to Abia Warriors by a lone goal. Yes, courtesy Daniel EJ in the 79-minute shocking loss in that one. As we speak to you, Gombe United lead Shooting Stars by a goal today. It's halftime. Yusuf Abdulaziz Taye with that goal in the 29th minute, and they lead by a goal to nil as we speak. That's the result of game across the NPFL. Mr. J,
Yep.
Aimba still believing, still. They look like one of the team, well put out team, especially under the tutelage and organization of Ewan Kokano.
For me, I don't think this should even be a question we should be discussing because losing a game doesn't knock you out of the league. You chasing the league title already, because we've seen it's only when the only thing that has been broken for me as all for football now is unbeaten run.
Yeah.
Their unbeaten run in this season, if at all, it's been broken. They can't win this league as invisibles
Must we
again.
go back to us now?
No,
Must
no,
we?
no, no, no. Say thinking whether the winning the league is possible. For
Okay.
me, it's all possible. It's not you falling down, but it's the ability to get up again. And they have said it. They have all it takes to get up and be in this run positively.
Just 3 points behind the table toppers, Lobby Stars. They still have a fighting chance. Tied on the same point with Remo Stars, who are fourth on the log, and Aimba is fifth on the log. If you ask me, everything is
This is
possible.
possible.
Anything
Yeah.
is possible in the world of football, especially with the NPFL. We know that a team who's sixth right now could end up winning the league.
Very true.
We've seen it
Exactly.
happen over and over and over again. We've seen teams, who we thought were not going to even make it out of the NPFL survive. We don't know how this magic happens, but this is happening in the NPFL.
They survive, so the points gap there is not very wide. So anything can happen.
Okay, let's move over to the NPFL Youth League. We've got with me the Benue FA chairman, also the president of the Ratel Sport Development Foundation, and of course, yes, the North Central coordinator for the Nigeria Youth and Nigeria Premier League Youth League that just ended, in the name of Barrister Paul Ede. Barrister Paul Ede, good evening to the show, and welcome to Sport Lounge.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening.
Absolutely.
All joy.
Dr. Paul knows that we are streaming live on YouTube, so we have got viewers all over the world.
Absolutely.
Fantastic one, sir.
Okay, so let's start off from the youth league. Why the youth league? Because there have been so many youth leagues in Nigeria, the La Liga under 15. There have been so many community leagues. Why the MPFL youth league?
Well, for once in the history of this country, we have uh, an MPFL chairman who is bold enough to call a spade a spade. The chairman of the MPFL, Right Honorable Benga Elegbele, and of course the board of the MPFL thought it wise that it is necessary that the youth game be improved upon to ensure that there is some level of sustainability of the league. Because, like you're well aware, as an investor, if you don't have where you have a pool from to continue to sustain the mainstream, you will have a bit of a difficulty. So the MPFL on the 17 league is one that is built upon the platform that the younger generation should come forward to take over when the current crop of players will have aged. And of course, it is none other but to allow the league grow.
Okay, you were one of the coordinators, like I said, one of the board members for this youth league. Is there a plan that this competition will be annual, biannual? What is the plan for this competition moving forward?
Well, if you hear the chairman of the MPF, Right Honorable Benga Elegbele, clearly, he has said time and again that the MPFL Youth Under 17 League has come to stay. It is something that would happen year in, year out. And of course, with the maiden edition, with the kind of traction that the Youth League brought forward, and of course, the level of discovery that has been made, it is such that it is one that has come to stay. And I'm sure that in the coming weeks and months, you will see plans rolled out for the second edition, because I have been reliably told that the second edition is going to start earlier than the maiden edition. So it is something that I believe has come to stay. And of course, the various clubs have also come to realize that it is one tournament that they will have to invest in if they must stay in the league.
If there's anything that the Nigerian football team, especially the cadet level, under 17, they have gone ahead to show the world that we are good to go. For the Nigerian Premier Football League under 17 level, what is the plan that these players haven't been churned out as young as they are? They will metamorphose into the senior teams.
Okay, you're asking what the plan is for these young lads that have been discovered?
Exactly.
Well, quite a lot. You know, as a coordinator for the Lafayette zone, we were privileged to play host to the NFF technical director in the person of Austin Eguavoen, who was there just to hunt for talent. And of course, the NFF is keenly interested in this youth league, because year in, year out, we have to go around the country to hunt for talent. Sometimes you do it with some level of rush. And I can boldly tell you that the NFF is not allowing these boys, particularly the exceptional talents, to go without being invited to the national under 17. And I'm sure in a couple of weeks or days, predominantly those that have been discovered will be invited to camp. So that is the first take home. Then the second take home is the fact that we have quite a number of players that have been discovered by even the mainstream clubs. Okay. For instance, I am aware that at least 2 to 3 players have been called up to join their senior team. So that for me is a lot of take home, and I am pretty sure that those that will make it or will be called upon for the national under 17 will be the proper players that have been discovered. I'm sure more than half of those players that will go to the national under 17 will be from this talent that have been discovered. And of course, what more than to have the very best of the best? We have 20 teams that participated. Out of the 20 teams, 5 qualified to the mainstream to play in Benin. and with the level of dexterity and talent that were discovered, I'm pretty sure that this nation is better for it.
Nice one, then. My question is, okay, first of all, I would like to appreciate the body for bringing this up, such a very nice one. But then...
Sorry, I'm straining my ears to be able to hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I said it's a very nice one there for the body to come up with this idea. My question now is, can you just list or mention a sustainability plan? Because Nigeria, this is one of the problems we'll be having. Coming up with a good idea is one, but sustaining it. Can you mention one key way that this program will be sustained,
even after the progression in the change of offices?
Exactly,
yeah.
because the present NFF chairman may not be there tomorrow. Maybe when there's reshufflement or change of exactly after election. What is the sustainable?
Well, first and foremost, what it takes is leadership, and what the board of the MPFL have decided is that it is mandatory. It is not optional for every club that plays in the MPFL to have their youth under 17 and of course under 15 as well.
Okay,
and it is not something that the board is backing down on. Like I said earlier when Arinze asked the first question, the second leg, that is the second phase or edition, will commence pretty soon, and I have reliable information that it will be far glamorous than this. And the second reason I think it will be sustained is because the MPFL board is also looking forward to having sponsors for this particular tournament, just like we have IGI sponsoring the league itself.
Yeah,
so for me, I have no doubt that once we have, of course, I am also privileged to know that there are a few multinationals that are currently supporting the MPFL board to be the sponsors for the league for the youth under 17. Of course, you know, with every outing, you want to see how it goes first before you can pin your money down on it, and I'm sure that's why you didn't see sponsors in this first edition.
Exactly.
But for the under 15, you know that there's already a sponsor for that. I don't want to call names, so I don't advertise unnecessarily on your station. But for the second edition, I am pretty sure that we'll have sponsors, and of course, it's going to be something that is sustainable.
Finally, before I let you go, I want to take you out from the place of the North coordinator of the NYP Youth League now to the Benin FA chairman. Lobby Stars, in short, football in Benin State have improved tremendously since he became the chairman. Lobby Stars are on top of the table in the MPFL.
True.
Lobby Stars youth team and the under 17 team were the team who qualified from the North Central Zone. And it seems football in Benin State is on the up. What is the secret?
Well, first, Lobby Stars under 17 didn't qualify. It was Plateau United that qualified.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Lobby Stars were at the verge of qualifying.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
So he has
but,
prophesied as a sponsor.
Football happened. but to directly answer your question, I think when we came on board, I had a well-articulated and defined vision on how to run the Benue State Football Association. And that vision is to build an investment-driven, self-sustaining football association that is anchored on the principles of integrity and, of course, opening the vista of opportunity for football to thrive at the grassroots level in line with the vision of the mission statement of FIFA, CAF, WAFO, and the NFF. And that is what I have built the FA under my watch with. You will recall that last year, the first ever FA Chairman's Cup happened.
Yeah.
And in that FA Chairman's Cup, the winner went home with ₦1 million. Second place went home with $500,000, which is more or less unprecedented in grassroots football. Each of the teams that qualified for the Super 10 also went home with kits. They went home with at least 5 to 10 balls each. And I believe that with what we did with the FA Chairman's Cup, it has also opened up the womb of the game at the grassroots level. But there's one peculiar thing that we also did as a board in Benue State. We decided to run the FA Chairman's Cup from the local FA Chairman's Cup, where we have the 23 local FA chairmen coming up with winners. Upon coming up with the winners from 23 local government, we had the first and second place still competing under what we tagged the Board Members Cup. That is, the 11 board members also organize their own tournament from the local government that they represent. Some represented 2 local governments, some 3. So it was from there we got winners who qualified ultimately for the Super 10. So there was football at the thick grassroots level. We had some over 30 teams in some local governments who participating. And that's why you see that with the involvement of everyone at every level, the referees were involved, the coaches were involved, the players' union were involved. And that is why you're seeing what you're seeing today with the goods of football in Benue State. And of course, we are not doing it like every other FA. We are doing it based on our own thematic areas. And we are sure that with the peculiarity of Benue, with the bundles of talent that have been discovered, some have actually been invited to Lobby Stars. In fact, one of the players that was discovered is one of the key players today in Lobby Stars. And I think that with what we have been able to do and will continue to do, at the end of 4 years, Benue State will be written in the annals of time as one FA to reckon with.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Massive thank you for being part of the show today. Hopefully, we'll get you more live and to talk more about what you're doing in Benue State. And I know my partner would like me to ask you some questions about Boko Lions. Oh, we've had this conversation before, sir. We'll let you.
Lions.
Exactly. We want to have this question before, but don't worry. We'll have more time to do that some other time on the show. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your presence, your voice on the show today.
Thank you, Arinze and the gang. When I come to the studio, I will retaliate.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nice one there.
All right, and that was the NYC coordinator for...
not Central Coordinator, and also the Benue State FA Chairman, Barrister Paul Ede.
All right, moving on the show. Let's touch down the camp of the Super Eagles as a news emanating from the Nigerian Football Federation has it that the news that have been speculating concerning Coach Austin Eguavoen being appointed as the new interim manager of the Super Eagles is nothing but a joke. That it has not been official and no contract have been signed. Looking ahead of the Super Eagles game against the Bafana of South Africa and other countries that will be in the group ahead of the 2026 World Cup. Sport Bishop, who is joking with? Who is the comedian here?
I want to throw it to Jay. You know, Jay, we've been talking about this a lot of times. Who is the coach of the Super Eagles?
we don't have it. We are coachless now.
Qualifier is on the way. Other teams are preparing. Our coach has told us goodbye. We hear that the board wants to offer him $80,000. He says no, he wants $120,000, and the NFF must pay his assistants. Before he was taking 70,000 slashed to 50, and it was both period he was paying his assistants. So he said, now I want $120,000, and I want my son to be paid by you, the NFF. I don't think NFF can afford it.
And NFF could not afford it.
And we hear that the NFF is trying to woo Pesero back.
How can they do it without the money? Am I hearing Eguavoen is not the coach? Yes. What's happening with the Super Eagles?
See, what is happening is because from the beginning of the whole thing, no one really trusted Jose Pesero. But NFF trusted him, and he was able to prove the doubters a little bit wrong. But we also saw the flaws at the end of the day. That is at that final game. A very good coach wouldn't lose that match like that. But then we don't know what's going on as at now, because what NFF has told us now is they are trying to woo Pesero back. But for
that's
us,
reports.
but for,
just telling us why is not in charge. That's what he told us. He's just a technical director.
for us, the fans, all we are agitating for is the NFF should please come all out, look inward, go all out. If Pesero is not not comfortable with the $80,000 that is being paid, and he wants
80,000.
80,000.
Not just $80.
$80,000. I mean, $80,000 that is being paid, and he feels that is not enough. Believe you me, there are local coaches that giving them half of that money, they will achieve more.
All right, and talking about achieving more, we will be stepping out of the building. No, on the show, yes. On our first official commercial break, but Sport Bishop, Mr. J, good news emanating from Ghana, as it that Ofyong Idem has qualified for the semi-finals of the table tennis women's single at the ongoing 13th All-African Games that is currently going on in Ghana. She is one of the medal hopeful, and she has proven us right.
She arrived very early as well. She got there. She's doing us proud. We had the team, both for male and female, are also doing us proud. Hopefully, we can get 3 or 4 medals from table tennis, you know, and start counting our
hopefully, you know, this is all.
We have Haruna Quadri here to play.
Very good there.
Shego Torola is leading the pack, and a veteran, Funke Oshonaike.
Stop mentioning them so that
you are sending shivers.
Exactly.
Of the opponents.
I think the only team that can stop us is Egypt. We know that, right? Only
Egypt, yeah, in table tennis they are
only
very
Egypt,
good there. But then besides the table tennis, we have other sports that will really garner medals. And
one of those sports that we gather medals as Mr. J is that the cricket team are known as the Yellow Green. They have officially touched down Ghana. They will be taking on Tanzania, Namibia, and South Africa, and they will start their campaign on Thursday.
They did well in the T20, the Nigerian T20 here in
Lagos. It's for Balewa Stadium in Lagos.
Lagos, Oval in Lagos. They call it Oval. It's cricket. When they play cricket, it's over. When they play football,
it's football.
So, great stuff. I think they wish them the best of luck. I spoke with them, the media officer Musa Hizoji, and the girls have been they've been preparing. I wish them all the best of luck. Hopefully, they take that form when they play the All African Games.
Amen.
When we return, we will be taking your calls as well as your messages. Keep them coming on at 070-0010-961-961, and also on YouTube it is a VOP 961 Abuja. Stay. We will be right back.
96.1 FM.
I'm coming in hot.
Now, you can enjoy the original taste of premium American Romeo's Pizza. Juicy, just the way you like it. To order online from Guarimpa, call 090-8831-5908. Gariki 090-8831-5906. And Lupe 090-9238-9861. Romeo's Pizza, the pizza champions.
Coming in hot, just like the fajita.
Today's sun is so hot though.
So what are you waiting for? Get the authentic taste of creamy cold berry ice cream. To order online from Gariki, call 090-8831-5907. Guarimpa 090-8831-5909. And Lugbe 090-8845-3416.
Enjoy authentic cold berry ice cream.
The Week in Review, a recap of all the big headlines and stories of the week. Saturdays at 8 a.m. only on VOP 96.1 FM. Now you have a voice. Every play, every score, and every victory is a story waiting to be told. Sports Bid. Weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Now you have a voice.
Variety is the spice of our station.
Voice of the People, 96.1 FM, Abuja. Now you have a voice.
right, good to know that you are still listening to Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja on the show Sport Lounge with Franklin Imona, the one you know as Uncle Fine Boy, and
I am the Sport Bishop, the magistrate, the pilot, the prophet, the professor, none so Arin Zechi. Okay, guys, we're going straight to the foreign scene. You know how we do it. We'll begin slowly but surely, and we'll climax with the UEFA Champions League. I'll head back to you, Fine Boy, as the drivers.
All right, and before then, let me remind you, for those of you that are just joining us, as well as those of you that have been listening, quickly rush to our YouTube channel. It is hot. It is the biggest thing happening in the city of Abuja. What's the address? It is VOP 96.1 Abuja. VOP 96.1 Abuja. Do well to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channels.
And don't forget as well to send us your SMS, WhatsApp message, WhatsApp voice call, and of course put a call to us if you're not too, come on, you're not too busy to talk sports with us on 0700, I beg your pardon, 010961961. I'll take that again, 0700 010961961. Before we go to the foreign scene, let's read this message. It says, "Evening, Uncle Fine Boy, Sport Bishop, and Mr. J. Frankly speaking, you guys are making me have much interest in Nigeria's league and African Continental League and tournament. The way you analyze African sports. Congratulations to Rivers United. It's always good when you are written off, but you come back to achieve what seemed to be impossible. Also, following up Nigerian league this season, it seems tougher and more interesting this time around. Guys, keep up the good work. Emmanuel from Wuse to Emmanuel, thank you very much. You can keep sending those messages on WhatsApp. Keep sending your SMS on WhatsApp, on normal SMS. And most importantly, you can also send in, yes, those calls in. We want to hear from you. 0700 010 961.
And live on YouTube, Emmanuel Ezeburo says Arinze with a fire emoji. It seems this guy is loving the questions that you were throwing at Barrister Paul Ede. All right, so let's step into the foreign scene. Let's take you to the foreign scene. And in the foreign scene, let's move straight to the Spanish giant Barcelona, as we hear that they are interested in bringing Luis Enrique back to the club. According to reports from L'Equipe, the Spaniard left the Catalan club back in 2017 and is currently the manager of Paris Saint-Germain. Barcelona will be in the market for a new manager come the end of the season, with Xavi announcing that he will depart the club this summer. The La Liga side are therefore in the process of constructing a short list of potential successors. Luis Enrique's name may feature in this short list as part of the report that L'Equipe is giving us. Sport Bishop, another return for Luis Enrique, looking eminent with Paris Saint-Germain looking like a club in disarray. Do you see Barcelona finally getting this man, and do they have the financial muscle to bring him away from Paris Saint-Germain?
I think for a team who looked at Luis Enrique in the eye and let him leave, not believing in his abilities and what he brings to the table, and to now say you want him back again because one man has told you guys that you guys are ungrateful. Xabi said you guys are ungrateful. You guys don't. How would I put it down? You don't really appreciate what I have done for this club.
And this man indeed worked with constrained financial budget.
Come on, man. Have you forgotten how many lava was made out for Xavi Hernandez?
Come on.
Lava 1, lava 2, lava 3. Have you forgotten? Come on, man. If Ronald Koeman had got this same support he got, I think he would have done better. But there was no money. He was loaning out. He was letting players sleep for little amount of money because the club had to balance the books. There were a lot of issues around financial fair play. And the man tried his best and he was sent packing for Xavi. Almighty Xavi, who would come, they thought he was the savior of the world. They thought what he was doing in Al-Assad, in Qatar, he would have brought it over.
Replicated.
Come on, man. He's learning on the job. That's the only job he's got. So, I think Luis Enrique would not want to leave Paris Saint-Germain. He's building something there.
True.
There's something good he's having. He's doing at the Parc des Princes. Don't forget, like I said, he's doing his period. He's out the Galacticos, and I'm building a team based on young players who are willing to fight for the jerseys. The likes of Goncalo Ramos, the likes of Zaire Elmri, that midfielder. Not forgetting Marco Asensio.
The likes of Dembele is still there.
Ousmane Dembele as
with
well.
Kylian Mbappe leaving.
Absolutely. So these are things you need to look out for, and you give kudos to them as well. So I think he wouldn't want to leave. The project there is looking good. It may not be an immediate product, or productivity immediately, but I believe that there's something there for Enrique at Paris Saint-Germain.
Let's still stick with Spain, as a report we are getting from the rival Real Madrid, as if that if they fail to win their appeal against Jude Bellingham's red card, it will further be extended. I mean, the ban for Jude Bellingham. And again, in the game between Real Madrid and Valencia, we saw Vinicius Junior being racially abused
by a child.
What can we say concerning
and it's not the first time he's been racially abused. My issue is that it's a child. What can you do? Can you take the child to court? No.
But so you can actually
find the club. I think I want to believe that racism is a societal issue. It's beyond football. It needs to be curbed from the society and then to the to governance before football. What can you tell a child? It's really sickening. But I love the fact that Vinicius Junior reacted very well. He celebrated with his hands in the air. He's got a brace, and the fact that they have not stopped him anytime soon is something I must give kudos to as well. So kudos to the coach for what he's done. But be sincere with you, I think more needs to be done to cooperate for Vinicius Junior.
All right, before we delve into the big one that will be going down later tonight, we hear that Manchester United are still dreaming that they can make the UEFA Champions League sport. Sport Bishop, Mr. J, Man United are sitting seized on the log with, I will call it, an haramic kind of football where the fans are complaining, the players indeed are also lamenting, and journalists and commentators alike do not believe in Erik ten Hag to galvanize this team beyond the season. But this man is dreaming that they can still play in the Champions League.
I laughed earlier that how table turned that Man U of all teams, of all clubs, is now vying
a Champions League hopeful.
They are now looking at how to making top four one of the things that will really give them the joy, the joy. But then this is football. How many points are these teams ahead of them? The fifth place and the fourth place team. Yeah. How many points are they above
Man United?
Manchester United. It is possible. It is still possible.
But is Man United their kind of footballer? Do they look like a team that can win the remaining parts of their game?
See, the issue is if Erik ten Hag can rediscover himself and bring up the highest form.
So he lost himself.
Yes.
So he lost himself.
He lost himself.
Where did he lose himself?
From the beginning of this season.
Oh, wow. But he was himself last season when he won the Carabao Cup and
qualified for the Champions League.
Yes.
As for Bishop, it seems we have a message on WhatsApp.
Before I go to the message, I want to say the words of Erik ten Hag so the fans can get him.
Okay.
He said, it can be a quick turnaround. It can be an advantage that even the fifth sport can also be a Champions League sport.
Wow.
So we have to go for it and win our games.
Fifth.
Because of this has been extended. Next year's Champions League will have 36 teams. We know that already. We know that
Chelsea has already taken that spot by having the best coefficient in the Champions League. So Chelsea, if
they will play
better than Man U,
of course. It's not like a group stage. You play 8 games.
Of course.
Home, 4 away.
Chelsea already.
So there's a new format.
So Chelsea is looking to play the Champions League next season ahead of Man United. Sport Bishop, let's take that message.
Okay, let's take this message. I will come back. It says, evening, Uncle Fine Boy. Sport Bishop, Mr. J, please. Just as Mr. J asks, this is not the first time the organizers of a program or tournament gives assurance of a sustainable plan. But it always becomes a mirage once there is change in governance and the talent discovered always vanish without progression. Let's wait to see how their plan materialize. It's our football administrators trying our patient. Let Pesero go. This man has nothing to offer. Uncle Fine Boy, is NFF listening to us at all? I need updates on Pesero. I thought he was still offered that $50,000 he accepted before AFCON. That was when he resigned. Has he been offered up to $80,000 now? I'm surprised to hear Mr. J say if it is true, this is a big joke. Please send our message to NFF. Let them know that Nigerians don't want Pesero. Emmanuel from Wuse too. Emmanuel, they are listening.
we are representing.
One thing that we can assure you is to every discussions and interview we are having on the show.
Absolutely.
NFF, NNL, NNO, they are all listening, including those in Europe. And Europe is where we will be taking you straight up. If you are a Chelsea fan, close your ears. Manchester United fans, hide your faces. This is the league of the big boys. This is the league where if you know how to play football, you bring it to the peak. And yeah, Bayern will be taking on Lazio, and Real Sociedad at home will be welcoming Paris Saint-Germain. Mr. J Sport Bishop, Judgment Day for TT Thomas Tuchel. If Bayern loses and fails to qualify, this season will be their worst seasons in over 10 years for Bayern. Come on, do you see Thomas Tuchel surviving this?
I wouldn't want to judge just yet, but then if you ask of my verdict, I have never been a fan or looking at TT Thomas Tuchel as a very good coach. He's been riding on the back of luck.
Even at Chelsea,
he rode on the back of luck. Hold on.
Quite painful to hear.
No, he's never been a very good coach.
I don't
in terms of recruitment, in terms of everything.
Hold on. Come on, make your point, Mr. J.
How will you qualify someone who has Romelu Lukaku, a good coach, has Romelu Lukaku? He offloaded him and brought in what is it called? Aubameyang.
And Aubameyang scored. He scored goals. His goal to game ratio was impeccable.
But was that a very?
Is Lukaku's goal to game record even impeccable in Roma? Was his goal to game ratio in Inter Milan as fantastic?
He came Inter Milan. He was a golden boot winner.
They lost the Champions League.
He brought Koulibaly because I have his very good dossier in my hand for what he's done.
Go ahead and I'll counter you.
How will you look at the kind of sharp defenders that Chelsea had before he brought Koulibaly?
Chelsea players don't have defenders right now.
Now go on.
No, I'm talking of Koulibaly. Why will you, as a manager, bring up Koulibaly when you have already an established old man who is there dishing out experience and is doing well in Thiago Silva? Then you have Chalobah. You have
Marcos Alonso there.
Where's Chalobah right now? Where is Alonso right now?
Football happened to
Where
them.
is Christiansen right now?
When these guys left,
he did not say.
This man won the Champions League with Alonso. He won the Champions League with Koulibaly. Excuse me. He won the Champions with Chalobah.
Yes.
Players who just wants to offload. See, this we should give to Timo Werner. That's the player he won the Champions League with. With Kai Havertz.
That Timo Werner.
That's the player he won the Champions League with.
That Timo Werner, was he not the one that offloaded him?
Oh, because
why will you?
That is why I'm telling you that the players he won the Champions League with mediocres. His setup was impeccable. They played some kind of exciting, exhilarating football.
Really? He is still in that Champions League.
Oh yes.
And he needed one man to make him replicate that form that he had at Chelsea. He brought in £100 million hurricane.
He had a Mason Mount. And Mason Mount is terrible.
Mason Mount wasn't terrible. It's Man that killed Mason Mount.
He's still injured. I love the way this argument is going back and forth between Mr. J and Sport Bishop.
I think today.
Again, I think a message has dropped concerning your discussion. This one said, again, I am an Arsenal fan, but all these teams are Arsenal banking them 4, 5, 6 mil doesn't move me until they get points from games against the Man City. Man United, Chelsea, and Tottenham Hotspur before I will consider Arsenal a title contender.
Well, how long has he been supporting Arsenal? Since yesterday?
Though I am enjoying Arsenal show, Emmanuel from Zone Use 2. It seems that Emmanuel is on fire, even though we are not talking about Arsenal right now, but he just wants to win.
He does puncture the balloon of
hold on, when did he start supporting Arsenal? After Christmas?
Come on now.
No,
come on.
Because these clubs he mentioned are clubs that Arsenal have taken points off them.
Against Man City?
Man United,
yes.
Man City, yes.
Man City this season?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep mentioning. That's what I'm saying. When nobody started supporting Arsenal from January this year.
Let's be realistic. You know the Arsenal of old. We know the Arsenal of old.
We're talking of Arsenal of today.
Let's stick to the discussion. And we call it that Lazio are 1-0 winners in their first game when they took that penalty that was only converted. So they will be heading into this tie with a 1-0 aggregate.
Yeah.
But Paris Saint-Germain away from home will be playing a Spanish side, Real Sociedad. Even though they lead by 2-0 on aggregate. Is it done and dusted for Paris Saint-Germain?
I think Paris Saint-Germain, they will be without Marco Asensio. He's got a hamstring. Kozowa, Alexander Laterrier, Skriniar, Pesno Kipembe, and of course Sergio Rico, who had a head injury with that clash. But don't forget, even the team from Anoeta, Sociedad will be missing Alastundo, Odriozola, Fernandez, Munoz, and Berestier. Let's be realistic. See, on paper, it looks like Paris Saint-Germain have done the job, but we know. We've watched Real Sociedad in Champions League, what them the Europa League, we know what they can do. Ask Man United, ask Liverpool. These guys can hurt teams. I'm playing in front of their home fans with the extra man, I call it man advantage because these guys can push on that stadium that's very jumpy. It's not over yet. With the Kylian Mbappe issue, it's not over yet.
It is not over yet. Just that we are looking at what could happen on paper. But if, just like you said, if you look at what these Spanish teams have done, turning tables all around.
They practically know the European football.
We've seen it with Barcelona, we've seen it with Real Madrid, although those are bigger names in La Liga. But then we have seen Villarreal doing it against Man U when everyone thought that, okay, it will be an easy ride for Man U.
Yeah, walk in the park. Yeah.
Exactly. So there could be a shocker there, but me, I'm still pitching my tent with PSG to go through.
And I'll come back to this Tuchel because we're not done yet.
No.
They should be done.
See, for a coach,
time is running.
I know. For a coach who is without Masraoui, Boye, David Pratt, Serge Gnabry, Kingsley Coleman, Bonassar, Ezekiel Kili, Terek Bochman, and Dayot Opomankano.
But he has Harry Kane.
Kane is not 10 people. Kane has scored goals now, 27. But he will keep shipping in goals because the backline is abysmal.
All right, we will be looking at more games in the Champions League come tomorrow as it continues. Meanwhile, Paris Saint-Germain and Real Sociedad have met just once in their history, with Paris Saint-Germain having more of the wins. A 2-0 win in the first leg. Yeah. And let's move over now to Formula 1 as we say bye for Champions League for today. More troubles in Formula 1 for Formula 1 President Mohammed Ben Sulayem, as we were told that he was the one that told officials not to certify the Las Vegas circuit for its race last year. It was a whistleblower that came out to deliver this verdict. But according to the penalties that was overturned to Fernando Alonso in Saudi Arabia last year, Mohammed Ben Sulayem looks like a man in trouble.
He's been in trouble for so many reasons. We talked about him earlier on in the morning, and now we hear that he's even making decisions, calling the shots from the back, which is not supposed to be. That he was the one who told them not to certify Las Vegas is the center. If you don't want a race in the circuit, why not put it to the board and say we don't want the race to be done in Las Vegas? I don't come on and make a decision on instruction. We all know this is why some people say, oh, they're trying to sport wash Saudi Arabia. They want to take up Formula 1, they want to take up tennis. This is the reasons why. Because they seem to have human rights issues. So many issues are surrounded around them. I just want, like I said, I'm one who believes that you're not guilty until found guilty. So I will give Mohammed Ben Sulayem the benefit of the doubt. But come on. 2 cases in less than 24 hours. Something must be really wrong somewhere.
Breaking news right from the world of tennis. This one is dropping hot and it is spicy. Two-time Grand Slam champion Simona Halep, 4 years ban for doping has been reduced to 9 months by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. The decision means former world number one Halep can return to tennis immediately. The 32-year-old Romanian feared a career would be over if the original decision was upheld. If this woman was a black woman, Sport Bishop, do you think that this ban will be reduced to 9 months? I was found guilty of doping.
She has appealed now. I don't like to say it. She went to the court of training for sports. You have the right to appeal. She has appealed. The original decision was upheld, but they reduced it to 9 months. She tested positive, yes. She explained why she did so. Don't forget. And then
doesn't mean the blacks have not been explaining why they did so? Why they...
When Toby and Musa, Blessing Okabare, we are brought before the Court of Arbitration for Sport for similar doping offense, what happened? Even when these ladies proved their innocence, Court of Arbitration said, we don't agree, you people are guilty, go and serve the ban. And right now, Blessing Okabare is in oblivion.
We will bring our own tribunal of arbitration of sports.
Let me explain to you.
A tribunal,
as you explain, you have evidence.
Our own tribunal of...
They said she has brought evidence to prove that she got that through the consumption of a contaminated supplement.
No. Maybe a lady in the studio can explain better.
The explanation I have for you is it's not for people to come and be going. We have lifestyle issues to talk about, okay? Enough of the sports. If she has been found guilty, she's been found guilty. If she should do the ban and just rest.
And the ban has been reduced. That's why we are talking about it.
Exactly. So she should take what she has been given.
And then move forward.
And move on.
And she can plan as early as tomorrow because the ban has been backdated to when.
Why don't they reduce our own?
And talking about moving forward, and tomorrow, join us on the show bright and early 8